Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fenya and I'm your personal esthetician. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about oily skin. I know I get this request all the time on Instagram, so here it is, guys. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification button, and let's get started. Okay guys, so how do we know we have oily skin? So we have to look at the T-zone. The T-zone is your forehead, your nose, your chin, a little bit on your cheek going towards upper cheek. That is your T-zone. Now, if that area is oily, you're on the normal to oily side. But if it seeps more up towards your cheekbone and right around here as well, mainly about 70 to 80% of your face is oily, then you're oily skin type. I'm technically oily skin type. I have a lot more oil production right up here, a little bit on the chin, and main forehead. So I am on the oily side. Now, what I do to control my oil production, I will show you in this video and talk to you guys about how to control it and slow it down. We cannot get rid of oil production because that's part of our skin and it needs to be done, and I'll explain later. But we cannot stop it, but we can slow it down and prevent as much as possible. Now let's get started with the pre-cleanser. And if you guys have seen my other video, I talked about what pre-cleanser is, but just in case, pre-cleansers are cleansing balms or anything that would dissolve makeup to kind of loosen things up so then you can prep your skin to start actually cleansing. So I personally use a cleansing balm because I don't like to overstrip my skin. If you have seen my other videos, you guys know that I don't like to be aggressive with my skin or, dry my skin out. So I like a good cleansing balm even though I'm oily. And if you're oily, you can still do this if you guys want. I like to use this company called Vanilla Co. And it's like a cleansing balm. Clinique is the same concept. It's called Take the Day Off Balm. Personally, I love those oil dissolving makeup removers just because they're super gentle. And as you guys may know from my past videos, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm super gentle with my skin. So I don't like to use cloths to wipe my makeup off. I don't like to rub my skin. These oil cleansers are so gentle and they're just, they get the job done. They cleanse and get rid of any makeup dirt and debris. After I go ahead and do that, I rinse my skin. Now remember guys, I am on the oily side, but I still like to use a gentle cleanser. And you guys may think, well, why is it that you use a gentle cleanser even though you're oily? You don't have to dry the whole face out because you have your T-zone that are oily. So I personally like to use a gentle cleanser. That way I have more wiggle room, which means I can be able to use a toner. I can be able to, use another acid in my routine or just exfoliate more rather than completely drying my skin out with a harsh cleanser. When I was younger, I was super oily. So I used to use a lactic acid cleanser. As I got a little bit older, I realized that was really just making my oil glands even more oily, because what ends up happening is when you strip the skin thinks, okay, you're dry, I'm going to shoot out more oil for you. So the more you strip the skin, the more you cleanse harsh or exfoliate more or just strip the oils from your skin naturally will produce more oil for you. So I ended up stop using any harsh cleansers. I started using more of a gentle cleanser, and then I eventually came up with my own. So I use the one I created. It's a gentle cleanser. It has very, very little amount of citrus acid in there, but it cleanses really well. It doesn't strip the skin. It doesn't dry the skin. So I'm more balanced now. So the less you're aggressive with your skin with the first step, the more chances you have to actually use other ingredients in your routine and not sensitize the skin. Now, the key in cleansing is to make sure you cleanse well, but you don't strip the skin. This is why it's so important to have the right cleanser versus a really harsh cleanser that will strip your skin, make you really, really dry, and then by 3 o'clock, you're super oily again. So your skin is smart. It knows what to do to fix the problem. So I always give this analogy. If you have a cut in your skin knows naturally to heal it and close the wound. So if you constantly strip the skin, it will constantly shoot oil for you and make more oil production for you. So what we want to do is we want to slow the oil production down by not overstimulating the glands, right? So after you cleanse with a gentle cleanser, you can use a toner at that point on your T-zone where you're oily, because again, chances are mainly most people are oily in the T-zone and then kind of dry up here and down here. So customize your toner. Use it only where you need to versus drying the entire face out because you're oily on the T-zone. So treat the problem instead of drying the entire face out because your T-zone is oily. Now, if you're not the toner type, then, and I'm not actually, I don't like to use toners in the winter time. Summertime, I may reach towards that, but not in the winter. But if you aren't the toner type, then just do a mist or an essence. But if you do like a toner, customize your toner. That way you don't aggravate or dry the entire face out just because you have the T-zone a little bit more oily. After you do your toner, your mist, or your essence, you can apply your serums at this point. I'm not kidding, guys. When I do consultations at my office and when clients bring in their products so I can take a look, every single product has acids in there. I think their thought process is to dry the acne or dry the oil production or the blackheads, but it doesn't work like that. You can't have every single product have acids in your routine because that will actually make your skin more sensitive and produce more oils. So after applying your serums, make sure in your routine, whether it's morning or it's nighttime, have a morning routine of like a hydrating serum. And then maybe at nighttime, you can incorporate more of an exfoliating serum or more of an acid. But make sure you have some sort of hydration in your serums. If you want to layer it with a different serum, that's totally up to you. But in my morning routine, I use my copper complex peptide to replenish my skin, and that is super key. So even though you're oily, you can still hydrate. Hydration doesn't mean you have to be goopy or oily. It just means you're replenishing your skin with water and moisture. So use a serum that has like hyaluronic acids, squalanes, any hexapeptide, tetrapeptide, dexapeptide, any type of peptide in there, because this will keep moisture in your skin. So after applying your serums, you can follow that up with a moisturizer. Yes, even though you're oily, you absolutely need to moisturize. I come across clients that will tell me they don't like to moisturize because they feel so oily. If you don't moisturize, your skin will get greasy and oily because your skin, it thinks it's dry. You have to moisturize. And please make sure to use a moisturizer. Even though you're oily, it doesn't mean you cannot use a moisturizer. You can use a really light or a water-based moisturizer to help replenish that skin and slow that oil production down. If you keep it dry, you're gonna wake up or you're gonna feel more oily and greasy. And you're gonna feel like you want to reach towards more of a toner or an exfoliant. And again, you're gonna just cause more dryness. So after moisturizing, if it's during the day, try to use an oil-free sunscreen versus those thick, goopy, or like hydrating sunscreens. Make sure it's a lightweight sunscreen or an oil-free one. That way you're more comfortable. If it's at nighttime, of course, you don't need a sunscreen and you can just go to bed. Now, I do want to emphasize, again, if you're oily or even if you're dry, you still want to do hydrating masks. Now, what I can suggest is, again, since your T-zone is mainly oily, maybe you could do like a detox or a mineral mask to help with, exfoliating and declogging the skin once or twice a week, and then maybe doing more of a hydrating mask all over your skin, including your T-zone. Do a hydrating mask like those gel, cucumber masks or anything that, like my ageless mask, that has a lot of urea in there, which urea is great for hydration and it replenishes the skin. And then it has a ton of moisture in there too. So I love the ageless mask. That's a great one you can put all over your skin, including your T-zone, to help balance that skin out. Now, I tend to do hydrating masks more often than those clay or volcanic masks or anything that is detoxing to the skin. I do the detoxing mask on my T-zone maybe once a week. If it's summertime, I'll do it twice a week. But my hydrating masks, I'll do it 3-4 times a week. I want to make sure I replenish the skin, I don't dry the skin out or irritate the skin. Now, as far as exfoliation goes, I actually use a beaded scrub instead of acids. It's a preference, it's a choice. I personally like a beaded scrub versus an acid because I have more control over it. I can scrub for 30 seconds and rinse it off, and knowing that it's completely off my skin versus using these serums that you just apply to your skin and it stays on and you sleep with it. So I will choose a couple of options. So I say for my skin type, I'll exfoliate maybe 2 to 3 times a week depending on the season. So right now we're more towards winter season than summer. So I exfoliate 2 times a week and I will choose. So let's say if I do my retinol, I'll do my retinol on a Monday. And then I'll do a scrub on, let's see, maybe a Thursday. So I spread them out widely and I don't do them back to back. And I choose 2 type of exfoliants to do in that week. And that's all I do. So I don't do Wednesdays, a lactic acid, Thursdays, retinol, Fridays, and so on. I pick 2 exfoliating products to exfoliate my skin, and that's all I do. I don't mix too many different acids in my routine. So yes, guys, always hydrate even though you're oily. You just have to use the right ingredients to balance out your oil production and slow it down. Over exfoliating, overusing acids can actually make your oil glands more active and produce more oil for you. So slow it down, use less acids and more hydrating ingredients, and watch out for those cleansers and those toners. Make sure it's not too active for you. Wintertime is where it gets a little tricky. Summertime, you can do a little bit more because it's so hot and sweaty season. But wintertime, because you're fighting against that cold, dry weather, you don't want to over dry the skin and have the weather working against you. So hopefully this video was helpful, guys. If you guys have any questions, comment down below and I would be happy to help you guys out. So I will catch you in the next video and talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.